we're going to flip over into a forecast environment. So it's very much a real life experience that we're looking at here, actually how you would use it in day to day. So I'm going to be quite fluid in doing this, but it's a very live experience it's going to be. So now we're going to move forward. We've done the budget, we're into now April, and I'm now created a specific screen forecast, and you'll see some changes here. So I've created a screen which will help me in my forecast process. So it looks, this is still the same, but I've got different things because I now have a different perspective on what I'm trying to manage. So first of all, you'll see variances. It says full year. So I'm taking my full year forecast. So that's 3 months of actuals because we've updated the system. The continuous planning that Never mentioned earlier means that I've always got the latest updated projections. I've got 3 months worth of actuals, and I've got the remaining months worth of budget, like from April to December. You'll notice that there's all zero variances, okay? And even the charts, the line here for the current forecast and the plan is identical. So we've stopped using last year's numbers now because we're moving forward. We want to now manage our plan as a manager, and everything is the same here. You see here at the beginning, the full year forecast, and rather that one's the full year forecast, and this one's the full year budget is the same. So up here, we have the version that we're working on. We've now gone through to April, and we would create an individual forecast for each month, of course, but we've got one specifically for April. So by selecting that now, we've now got a new data set that we're using here. We've got the old one, which was the original budget, still there, but now we can start to see variances. For instance, here, we're still in Melvin's budget here, but we're actually positive. We're actually 8K ahead of ourselves. So what a great thing to have in there. Based on my full year, I can see so far I'm ahead of target. I'm doing okay. And again, we can now see this chart here. There's my actuals, and we can see some slight changes for whatever reason. It was over budget in January, and it's moved around. And then from April onwards, we're tracking obviously identical to our budget because we haven't made any changes yet. And that's what we're about to do now. We also see our headcount is 0. So it means that our plans are exactly matching to what we started with. So now let's get into the forecast process and have a look at this and what changes we can make here. Now, as it happens, we can see here, do you remember we had 3 new hires? Well, 2 of them have been filled. George Washington and Amanda Hyatt have come in, and they came in at the exact date that was anticipated. But we still got a change here that has not come through. Remember, we've got a new set of payroll data that's come in because we've refreshed the lot. So let's have a look and say, okay, we've got a change here because this person now is not going to come in till the 30th. So that could be a forecast change that I'm making. Now, the other thing I might say is Callum Elliott, you'll notice there, is set to retire. Well, he should have retired, just retired now there. So I might say, okay, I want to replace, or I have now replaced this person. Maybe it wasn't in the budget, maybe it wasn't budgeted. So what I'm going to do, just for the purposes of how we can do this, I'm going to say we've replaced Callum. We actually have another person there. It was unbudgeted. So I'm going to copy. I'm going to say it's like an identical, with a different name, of course, but I'm just going to keep that like so there. I'm going to take that end date out because this person just started. I'm just going to copy a date to make it easy for me to get this going. I'll just say it started on the same date as that one. And go there and move forward. Okay, so I've got this new one here. I made this change, 2 changes here. And I'm going to click save. So remember, this is my forecast process. What impact is that having? Because this has not happened. This is me projecting forward. Okay, so we can see here there's a bigger impact here. We're actually looking much higher. Remember, we're now negative because we've had to replace Callum. I hadn't budgeted for that. So that's looking a bit bad for us, but it's good to know. We need to know these things. And we can see that impact on this chart because Callum has come in. And the impact of this person starting later has had an impact. And you can see they're probably called a 1. But going forward, it's gone negative. So this is great information from a personal user experience is concerned. As a self-service person, I can very easily look at this and make my changes and see any variances as I go along. I can also just click on any of these reports if I want. So again, I might submit this. This might be part of the process. I say done, and that's my part of the forecast process done. Very easy. We've now got very accurate, moving forward information. We're not relying on old, stale budget data. We're relying now on very dynamically entered planning, and this now allows my planners to be strategic, to really look at where they are and to make decisions on things very easily without spreadsheets.